Hey everyone, welcome to your Autumn Equinox Pick a Leaf reading. I'm excited to bring these to you for this 3-month period, and it's actually a part 2 of two of these videos that I'm doing. The first one was actually back on August 8th, and those were the Lion's Gate portal readings. Those were letting you know what you were surrendering to or what you were getting ready to surrender, and that energy has been working since August 8th up until this reading, which will be from September 22nd to December 21st for this year. And these readings are going to be out, because autumn, fall, what is falling away out of your life to make room for the new. So I will go ahead and put the link for the Lion's Gate portal readings in the description box below, and also a link to the playlist at the end of this video, just to make it convenient for you there. So I would definitely go check those out if you haven't already, just to see what energies we're bringing you into this autumn equinox period. And as I mentioned, this is a pick a leaf reading, so you do have a choice between 3 different leaves, or 2 or 3, as many as you want. We don't limit it here, but if you want to choose the red leaf, that's reading number 1. The orange leaf will be reading number 2, and the yellow leaf will be reading number 3. Number 1 we're going to do first, and so if you chose one of the others, that timestamp will also be in the description box below. So let's dive right in and see what this fall equinox is going to be bringing you. All right, my Sagittarians, if you chose reading number 1, which is the red leaf, then this is your reading. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards. And these are going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about what is falling away. And this is what's falling away during the autumn equinox period. And don't fret, we're going to look in right away after we determine what is falling away, what is coming in. And you're not going to be left empty, because as that energy is leaving during autumn, that new energy is coming in right behind it. So you'll never feel a hole in your life because of what's falling away, because you're going to be having something come in. All right. Creator, for our Sagittarians that chose the red leaf. Whoa, okay. That one popped out right away. So we are going to use that one. A lot of energy in these, which I don't... I'm not surprised. Fire energy, right? So you've got the surrender to the idea that you can fix someone. There we go. Beautiful green energy there. And it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Excuse me. So definitely, I love this for you, because you have all this energy that you are investing in trying to help someone, and our heart, our real soul, we're beings of unconditional love. So when we see someone going through something that they are either choosing to suffer through, or having, all these emotions they're choosing to have around the situation, it looks like they're this victim and they need to be rescued, and our hero inside, wants to go and rescue them, right? Or it also has this, our ego has this expectation, this supposed to or should, around everyone's life, including our own, and we have it for ourselves, but we also imprint it on everyone else. So you should be having the life that I think you should, and so we try to fix their life to be the way we think it should be, even if it's not what they want, right? So there's this beautiful energy that's coming from this of, because we do invest all our energy in trying to fix things. And being a supervisor in many jobs that I've had, you really learn this beautiful life lesson that people don't do anything that they don't want to do. and you try to fix people, if it's something they want, oh yeah, they allow you to do it. But if not, there's this block and they will resist you, right? So all this energy you use in doing all that usually goes into a black hole. And so it's beautiful when you surrender the idea that you can fix someone and you just accept the perfection of who they are going through their life. And we'll find out more as we go through here. I'm feeling like the Wheel of Fortune or the Soul card or the Tower might be showing up for you, but we'll see if that shows up, and then we'll go into those details if we go that direction. But we're going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown archetype and just see, with you surrendering to the idea that you can fix someone, so it's about your thoughts and beliefs, what then moves in to replace that energy for your next piece of your adventure. So let's see here, Creator, for our Sagittarians that chose the red leaf, what do you want them to know about what comes in as this other energy moves out? Okay, that one is stepping out, so we will do this, and you have the prayer. And to let you see a little more detail on that there. And I'll read from the book here, but what jumped into my head was the song, I Thank God for Unanswered Prayers. Because sometimes we think we see a part of someone that, oh, that's what I'm attracted to. Even though they're not acting that way, I know I have the ability to fix them and make them be who I want them to be so I can be with them. And this is like, thank God for unanswered prayers. It doesn't work out. And then you see later, okay, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to fix that at all. and then you're able to instead really enjoy your life. So let me see here. Okay. So the prayer is the worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer, and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent, self-centered thinking that spins us toward illusion, like the illusion we can fix people, right? Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story, to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not at the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender, or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. And also says, every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I might have murdered that. It says, I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. It also says, experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. And when you move in the light side of this energy, you are offering to be of service. You're asking for guidance. And when you're on the darker side of the energy, you're expecting results, self-aggrandizement. So expectations, right? I want some results. I want them to change. When we go deeper into this energy, we ask to be of service. And I love this because definitely as we move away from this outside trying to control things, the connection to the creator, the other side, that looking upward for the meaning of life instead of outward, trying to make life fit to what you think it should, what you've been told it should be, is a beautiful transition. So yeah, definitely I feel this energy of feeling out of control. So you're trying to control everything that is actually out of your control and moving into giving up control. And again, instead of trying to be like a dictator, the feeling of service, going, what can I do? And it's like, not my will, but thine. So how can I help with your will for the planet? And that's a good kind of a awareness that comes from this, in that this is our will. This is, we're trying to impose our will on everyone else. And we do it out of fear, because we've been taught through praise and punishment of all these opinions on how the world should be, how a person should be, how a situation should be. And we have no idea. Every person comes down here to learn about themselves and to have their own adventure, like a little mad scientist in our own individual laboratories. And then here we walk in trying to fix someone's experiment and go, oh, this is what you need to do. And it blows up, and they're like, that's not what my experiment was. Mine was trying to find, this thing, but yours is that. So you're trying to make my experiment match yours. It's not the same. And that's what this prayer, when we stop trying to impose our will and come to the conclusion that we have no idea what someone else's life should be, then we come to here and we connect to the higher realm, right? And they know the whole scheme. They're outside of time and space. They see the whole tapestry. We only see our small thread, and we don't even see how our thread fits into the tapestry, but they do. They see how everything works together. And so when we ask to be of service, we await the message from up above on what to do, what to say, in the external world, rather than going off of our own self-induced grandizement. Like I said, I'm just going to take a quick sip of water here. Sorry, I'm hacking up a little bit. Got a little bit of smoke in the air today. So my allergies are having a nice little battle with that. We're also going to get, of course, some additional information on all this, and we're going to pull the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's a companion to this deck, and we're basically going to pull 4 kind of sets of cards, how many ever come out, and what it's going to represent. We're going to start off first by pulling a card here, which represents from the Lion's Gate on August 8th, all the way up till the Autumn Equinox starts on September 22nd. The energy that came in and the experiences that you have that are coming up and bringing you into that autumn. So we're going to do that there. And then this one's going to be September 22nd to October 22nd. This will be October 22nd to November 21st. It's a day less because there's 31 days in October, so that switches it back one day. And then this will be November 21st up to December 21st, which is the winter solstice up time frame. So we'll see here. Shuffle one more time. And Creator, what do you want them to know about this time frame here? From the Lion's Gate up to the winter solstice. Okay. And then September 22nd to October 22nd, please. And then October 22nd to November 21st. Whoa. Okay, so these are those 2 there. This is just me being Butterfingers. And then November 21st to December 21st. I tell you, your cards have a ton of energy. All right. And then we will also be pulling clarifiers from this everyday tarot here for that clarity. So we'll start off first for August 8th up to September 22nd. Yep, you have the Son of Swords. And this makes total sense because this would be normally like the Knight of Swords in a regular deck. So the Sun and the Knight, and it's about action, it's about movement. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitudes, your mental kind of choices. And of course, with this being the surrender, your idea that you can fix others, that's all about your idea, changes of your ideas and your approach and your expectations. That's where expectations really live, is within the sword suit. So it makes total sense that you're having this action and this activity that's going on in your mind. So a lot of mental reflection in what you believe and why and how and what you're wanting and all that beautiful mental work that you're going on here. And we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about that time frame, all that energy coming up. And I did mention in the intro, if you're looking to see what energy you were dealing with, at the end of this video, and I think I also put it down in the comments down below, is the link to the Lion's Gate by sign, so you can check that out, because there was a pick a card for that as well. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Sages to know? Okay, I feel like that one. Okay, and also that one. Any others? Okay, no others. So it's these two. So you got the Star, and this is great because this is like the card of hope, but it also is that this is the connection to you getting to know yourself. The Aquarian energy, we actually just are coming off of a full moon during this time frame too. We had a full moon in July in Aquarius, and we have a full moon in August also in Aquarius. And so this is the Aquarian card, actually the Star, and you can see the water bearer symbolization here. And what the gift that the water bearer brings is it shows you what you're truly thirsty for. And, so it pours out this living water, which is the unconditional love of the Creator from the other side. And so that drips down onto the land, which is your thoughts and your physical world. And then it also pours off into the water, which is your spiritual world and your emotions. And so it's pouring out into every area of your life. So you're really having this connection to the other side, to your real self. And like I mentioned, the gift that the Aquarian energy brings, the Star energy brings, is it shows you that all those things that were supposed to fulfill you and make you not thirsty anymore and to quench your thirst, they didn't. In fact, it was more like soda or pop that full of sodium that didn't even quench your thirst. It actually made you thirstier. And so this is showing you and turning you inward for you to see what it is you truly want, which is unconditional love, not conditional love from the outside world. And that's what this trying to fix other people is trying to get to a point where, okay, they're to a point where I can love them, or they are to a point now where they can love me, and so there's this beautiful release, like we said, that comes from this. And this prayer is like reaching to the heavens, connecting to the heavens, connecting to that realm that does have what you're wanting. Yeah, because here's the Ace of Cups, which also for me is the Holy Grail, the chalice. But this is the, like the vessel that brings us the unconditional love. It fills you up and it overflows out to others. And so this is all about connecting to unconditional love in the spirit world. So you definitely have this questioning a lot of your beliefs and thoughts and expectations, because this is actually the Ace of Swords that they carry, which is what you use to cut away old beliefs, to cut away things that no longer serve you. So a wonderful energy that's coming in. So very powerful awareness and emotion as well. And that brings you into September 22nd. And here you have the Eight of Wands. And Wands is your fire energy. Wands represents also, in addition to like your drive and your ambitions and your passions, it represents our spiritual side, our spirit. And so this is usually messages coming in from all directions, like you're in the middle here and you're getting all these messages. And I really feel that because of this connection here and connecting with this prayer that, you know, you're getting all this energy that's flowing in, all this love energy, unconditional love energy. And because of that, you're getting to this frequency. And I kind of feel like this is an antenna and this is the, messages coming in, because you do have messages coming in from the spirit realm for you. And so I really feel that as you raise your vibration of love, you have this movement of energy that's happening from August 8th up to September 22nd that brings you into this place of joy and laughter and peace and unconditional love. And when you're at that frequency, that's the frequency where spirit talks. When we have all this controlling and all this fear and everything, it's very loud noise, and it makes it difficult for us to hear those whispers of love. And so when you connect with this here, that allows you to hear those messages. And let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about September here, September 22nd to October 22nd, with these messages that are coming in. Like that one here and these two here. So you got the King of Swords. So, you have the Son of Swords here, which was the Knight. And now you have the King of Swords, who's the Master of Thought. And he sits upon this throne of cup, a giant cup throne, which cups are emotions. And so this is a beautiful balance, saying that you're balancing your emotions with all your thoughts and your beliefs and your mind. And that's what the King Swords brings in. You're still having a lot of mental questioning and processing of things and understanding of things, but you're really attaching to the emotions as well. And this is like the Ace of Cups again. You're sitting within the Ace of Cups. So you're getting a lot of clarity that comes with all that. And again, he holds the Ace of Swords. And I love that he also has his hand extended, which means he's open to receiving new thoughts, new beliefs, new ways of thinking. Yeah, because then you have the Knight of Wands. So then, again, Wands is your spirit. And so Knights are of action. So your spirit is taking action as well. So, you had the thoughts in action here. And it's like you're mastering your thoughts because you're bringing in all those emotions. And then you have this beautiful spiritual energy movement that's going on in your life as well. And you being a fire sign, you really aren't afraid of fire. You love, that's your essence, that's your element. So you love moving around in it. You don't get burned by it. In fact, you get excited about it. You get energized by it. So I love that coming in. Okay. And here's the Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords in the King, Ace of Swords here. So you continue to release thoughts that no longer serve you. And these are new thoughts and new beliefs coming in. Just affirmation. Yeah. And then you have the High Priestess. So she's the one that digs down into the subconscious, into the unknown, and is actually the one that really connects to the other side, right? She's the one that has the moon energy, the intuition, and just really I feel she's the one that connects to the gods, that connects upwards. So she goes into her temple and uses that connection that she has for messages and to understand things. And so that is such a perfect set of cards to represent this September 22nd to October 22nd for you. I feel that with her retreating into her temple, that this could be a time, this is a lot of inner work, and this is a lot of stepping away from a lot of external activity and external interactions with people to focus in on you. So I really feel like this September to October 22nd, for a majority of you, you're not going to feel like doing anything external. You're like, I want to be away, not with people anyway. You might want to go out into nature to get away from everything, or go on a road trip to get away from, so you could have some alone time and journal and whatever. Or if there's any kind of retreat going on out there, you're getting away where it's not like this huge group activity. It's more like you're attending things and you're chatting with people at lunch and stuff, but you want to spend a lot of time away. So it's that feel that comes with that, which brings you into October 22nd. Yeah. And then here's the Judgment card. So this Judgment card is an awareness of, these are kind of representing all of your expectations and your thoughts and your experiences as the human, but you're remembering who you really are, which is this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And so it's shining light onto the shadows, and your shadow is definitely a part of you, and shadows appear when there's light. If there was no light, then it would just be a total black card. But because there's light, you're able to see and understand yourself. In this journey for October 22nd to November 21st is a lot of self-awareness. And you can see that it's card number 20, which is X and X on these. And 10 is really like, endings and new beginnings. And so it's like a double ending and a double new beginning, which for me represents that there's things about your human side and your ego and your journey of your life that and it has a lot to do with your thoughts and beliefs, that those are being dropped and changing and falling away. But also you have a lot of thoughts about your spiritual side and who you are, outside of this human existence. And there's changes in beliefs in that area as well. So it's like this double change on both sides of the spectrum. But it's really an awareness that you are more than just this human, so much more. It's a piece of who you are, but you're so much more than the little you that's playing here. And then you got the Mother of Pentacles, which would be the Queen of Pentacles on a lot of other decks. And you can see she's taking care of the little fawn. So she's Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So this is about taking care of yourself. And the Pentacles are about the external world as well. So it's definitely, making sure you're taking care of your physical body and your environment, but really making sure to nurture you and putting yourself first. And so I mentioned like getting away into nature. This would be a huge indicator of that, about getting out into that space. And she's a divine mother, a lot like the Empress. And so she also brings in this beautiful birth of new things. So like we're talking about endings, this would be perfect for new beginnings as well. And we'll pull some more cards here, see what else the Creator wants you to know about October 22nd to November 21st. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about that period of time? Okay, just one. This is a perfect card for that too, because especially with this understanding both your human and your spiritual self, because for me this Strength card means finding your inner strength. The lion represents our human side, our being of fight or flight that walks upon the earth. And so the lion, of course, is hungry and thirsty. And when it doesn't know about those living waters, it's told, go out here. This is what's going to quench your thirst. This is what's going to make you not hungry anymore. And so it goes into the outside world and it drinks and it eats and it's temporary. It moves through it quickly and it doesn't quench its thirst. It doesn't make it not hungry anymore. So it gets to a point where it becomes hangry, that hungry, angry. And so it's going through the jungle roaring because it's desperately thirsty and desperately hungry, and nothing seems to satisfy it. Well, what it's looking for, of course, is love, and that's what our core of everything that drives us as humans is. We want security, we want to be loved, we want to be accepted, and all that is wrapped in love. Well, external love is all temporary and unstable, so that's why he's searching and not getting fulfillment. What's beautiful, you can see here the infinity symbol on her hair. She represents our infinite self, our higher self, the being of unconditional love that we really are. And so she comes to comfort our lion side, our human side, our, the ego that we have, the fear ego, and our higher self doesn't come down and, kill the lion because it's ferocious, or it doesn't cage it. It doesn't try to control it with a whip and chair, like in the circus or whatever they do. She comes down and gives it what it's needing, which is unconditional love. You can see her like hugging him, giving him love, and so he gets what he needs, and he switches and transforms from this roaring lion in the jungle to a purring kitten full of love. And so this is all about how your higher self brings the love that you're searching for to you, and our higher self is like the vessel that the unconditional love of the Creator flows into and through, because we're made of unconditional love. So it comes in through there and does that. And I love that there's this synchronicity of like, this is the 8 of wands, and this is is the number 8 in the major arcana. So again, connection to your higher self, connection to the higher realms is what this October 22nd is. It's what gives you, like this nurturing, right? So your higher self nurtures your human side during this period of time, because again, this Ace of Cups is what is bringing all that. And then you go into November 21st to December 21st, and you've got the 7 of Wands here. And what the 7 of Wands represents a lot of times is like, this is you and your brightness, in your connection for who you are. You're that star that's illuminated. You understand it. This is your higher being, that you've become inflamed, and you have this flood of beautiful spiritual energy that's coming in. And then there's everyone else. People are afraid of the fire. They may not understand it. They may, when they're a hangry lion and they're desperate and they're in that fight or flight mode, they may not understand that. And so this can represent people like trying to burst your bubble, or, a lot of the negativity of the external world that we love to experience and that we jump into when we're in that desperation mode of fight or flight, causes us to say things and do things out of our mind, because we are literally out of our minds when we're that thirsty and that hungry. Fight or flight really physically moves blood out of our brain because it doesn't want us to think, it wants us to react. So there's a lot of reaction of other people going in here. And for me, that also represents that this was a lot of inner work. And this is where it starts to seep out to the world, which can start, that conflict, because when you have this beautiful love flowing out of you, and you might have stopped, like when this trying to fix people, you also are so engaged in their life that when you start spending all this time for you, and you're not putting that energy out there, then they might be jealous that you're keeping all that energy to yourself as well. So it's a general reading, so it's going to vary by individual, but the basic consensus is you're in this bubble of love because of all this, and people are like, poke, 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 saying, I'm trying to blow out your candle, blow out the flame, because they're like, come back here with the rest of us. Quit being so happy. So, and we'll see what else the creator wants you to know. Okay, yeah, they said don't shuffle. So, let's see what else the creator wants you to know about November 21st to December 21st. These two right here. Yep, 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups, cups are emotions. The 10 is like fulfillment, overflowing. It's like all these cups are like all of these Ace of Cups 10 times. You're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle any more love. I feel like I'm going to burst. You just have a whole new perception of your world, your whole new perception of everyone and everything, because when you get filled up with this love, and the lion feels whole and complete, everything on the outside is extra. Before that, we're living in lack. Everything, I'm not good enough. Everything's not good enough until I get to someplace in the future. So you feel this gap of lack and unworthiness. But when you connect to this inner love from unconditional love from the other side, from the creator, then every one little thing is extra in abundance because you're already full and complete. Everything is extra. There is no lack. There's just this feeling of abundance. And again, a number 10. So, it's the endings and new beginnings of this way of thinking and feeling. Yeah, because here's the other 10. So you got two 10s again. And this is the 10 of Swords. And these are all your expectations that you had before, all the stuff, and you realize it's a beautiful comparison between, I got to live up to all these things. These are all my supposed to be, should be's, needs to's. This is the lack feeling versus the abundant feeling. And they're not dead here. They're just so exhausted. They're laying down there, but they're seeing the sunrise. And then, this is what comes for you. So this was you before. This was you before, and this is you after. So we're actually going to put the 10 of Cups over the 10 of Swords, because this is that transformation of energy that you've had. This is beautiful. And then lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a card from, another Wild Unknown deck. This one's the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And of course, it's related to these. But this is going to represent what spirit animal or spirit guide, spirit and animal energy is going to be around you from the Lion's Gate portal all the way up to at least the winter solstice. So they're going to be your companion, guiding you in various ways through this process, through this autumn. So creator, which animal spirit guide is going to be with them? Which one do you want them to know about? So I'm sure we have a lot of hidden, invisible helpers that are around us. Oh, and you got the golden egg. It's a beautiful card there. And we're going to put that right here. And I know this one is a beautiful, beautiful message that comes with this, because it's message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. And it says, within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life, like we talked about in here. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, no pushing, no grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. And nidra, I think, Nidra, I might have mispronounced that. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection and contemplation, like we talked about. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you're seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time, right? Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. And the golden egg relates to the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And the subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at that fourth chakra. And that chakra is called Anahata, Anahata. Again, apologies if I murdered that. And it's the home of the self or the soul. So by bringing the mind into the center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It's said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. And Anahata translates as the unstruck sound. Beautiful. So that's connecting with the real you and the true you. Definitely, it's everything we've talked about during this reading, and it's the perfect energy that's going to be accompanying you through this whole process. You know, the egg, of course, is new birth as well. So that energy is going to be with you. So wherever you have eggs coming into your life, remember back to this golden egg energy if it comes across you in the physical realm or social media or anything like that. And even I encourage you to draw eggs or print off pictures of eggs, you know, things that resonate with you, that give you that energy that you feel will help you through this, and put it all around you as reminders as you go through this autumn, because you have this amazing energy that's unfolding, and not only are you going to be so happy about it, people that you've been trying to fix or change are going to be happy about it too, until you pull away and start focusing all the energy on you. Then they might get a little jealous, like, wait a minute, why are you trying to change me anymore? And you're like, you know what? Be free, little butterfly, be free. I'm going to work on me. And they're like, wait a minute, what about me? You know, so just be prepared for that. But overall, you know, this is a wonderful, wonderful autumn for you. I'm very pleased to see that you're going to be able to experience this. And just know as you go through every moment of every day that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. You have an amazing autumn, and I am sure I will be talking to you very soon. You take care now. All right, my Sagittarians, if you chose reading number 2, which is the orange leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards. And this card is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about what's falling away during the autumn period. And don't be scared. We're going to immediately also find out what energy is coming in to replace that energy that's moving out of your life. So you won't be left feeling empty or whole in your heart or in your being. There's always energy there. It just changes and transforms, right? All right, Creator. So for Sagittarians that chose the orange leaf, what do you want them to know about what's falling away during the autumn period here? Okay. And it is surrendering your ego. And it says, cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. So I love this for you because the ego is the one that is trying to control the world and the outside world, and it's what's trying to it's almost like this dictator that it just wants to be safe. And because it wants to be safe, it wants to be in control of everything to make sure it unfolds how it thinks it's supposed to be. But it really doesn't know how things are supposed to be. It just is going off of rumor and opinion from the outside world. So it has good intentions to try to protect us. Like my fight or flight ego side, I look at as Wolverine. It's very capable of protecting me. And if it gets angry and triggers really easy, and so this is about looking at surrendering a lot of our ego's control of our life. And because every moment we can choose between, fearing losing conditional love or feeling unconditional love. And so we have this choice between the two of what we want to rule our life. And I always say, I have this I think it was in my one of the books I wrote about, the story of when we're first come into our bodies and we're born, we're like in the back seat in a car seat, and our ego is driving us. They're like our nanny, protecting us, keeping us alive, taking us off-road and avoiding all this things it perceives as threats on the highway. So it takes off on side roads and back roads and off-road and all this, and we're going through all that. And then we're starting to grow. We grow and we move from the baby car seat into the toddler car seat, and then out of the car seat and sitting with a seat belt in the back. And then eventually we move to the front seat because we're connected enough where we are understanding and becoming more aware. And so we're sitting in the passenger, and then we start to switch places. And the ego likes to hold on, going, I don't know if I know this road, I know the way. And it's like, well, here, I'll drive and you just sit next to me. And then so it feels like almost like this driver's ed car where it has its own steering wheel, its own brake. And so it still feels, all right, I'll let you have a little bit of control, but I'm still there. And then eventually we allow our ego to go to the back seat, and it becomes a backseat driver, but it allows it to rest. It allows it, and we don't throw it outside the car, or sometimes I threaten, I'm going to put it in the trunk, but it's a part of us. It's a valued part of us. It's the piece of us that was brave enough to come and disconnect from the whole sea of unconditional love, to be able to feel what it might feel like to be separate. It was the one that was brave enough to, become that duality and to step away. So that's why I, named mine Wolverine, because it's a superhero to me. I'm like, you're so brave to have done that and to face all that. And thank you for caring for us, the being that we are, together, because if you weren't around, I would have died, as a little child, and my little adventure here would have been short and sweet. But so that is like when we're surrendering our ego, we're allowing it to go on vacation now. It's done its job. It's been that nanny that's, worked 100 and how many hours a week, and now we're allowing it to have a rest. And I love that kind of analogy. And then we're going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown archetype cards, and we're going to see what energy replaces that energy as it moves out during autumn. All right, Creator, what do you want our Sagittarius to know that chose the orange leaf to know about what energy is going to come in as we surrender that ego? Okay, that's the one. And it's the orphan. And this is so hilarious because, that's what we feel like. We were an orphan And, so totally fits into the story I was saying. The ego was our nanny and we felt like an orphan because where were our parents in that example? They weren't there. Our nanny was taking care of us, right? They're the ones that were growing. And so I love this because this is like this transformation that happens. And I'll read from the book too, but what I always get when I get this, and even this is like I feel like this is the protector. It's protecting the individual. But we move from this feeling of being a victim, of being an orphan, of being a redheaded stepchild, into this beautiful relationship with the Creator, the Mother and the Father of all things, the Divine Father, the Divine Mother, which can be looked at as Spirit or the Holy Spirit, depending on your faith. And we become into this Trinity, this personal Trinity with the Creator, where you are an only child. It's this only child relationship. The Creator, of course, has the ability to be everywhere all at once and 100% everywhere all at once. It doesn't have to share its attention and energy and love with the other trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of brothers and sisters. We get to feel that type of spoiled only child relationship with the Creator. So I love this transformation that happens here. And let me grab and see what message comes from this. So the orphan, okay, like we talked about, the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. And it says to study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. So we're in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. So take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It's normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. And it also says, tenderness beyond tenderness is required. Imagine holding yourself in your hands. To recognize that each one of us fears rejection and isolation is to take one step toward the orphan. More kindness, always. Yeah. And it says, access this archetype through creative acts like drawing, painting, or writing. Keep it simple. Ask the orphan what it wants to draw, what it wants to make, what it wants to say. Because when you're in the light side of this energy, you have deep solace, you have deep acceptance, you have deep love. But when you're in the dark side of this energy, you're distance. You have a lot of hates and avoids, controlling, limiting. And to go deeper into this energy, it recommends here to read Mary Oliver's The Kitten. So I love that. So definitely, we're talking about, so this is really connecting to this deeper love. And no matter how everyone's parents treated them, it's about connecting to our divine mother and father parents. Because every parent, and this is not to diss parents, because every parent was a child who didn't have a perfect childhood either, whose parents didn't have a perfect childhood, whose parents didn't have a perfect child. Generation to generation, all the stuff that's passed on and how everyone has lived. And, we're just lucky we survived childhood. But we're children raising children, raising children, raising children. And we can give our physical parents on the earth a lot of grace, and that they did the best they could at the time with what they knew and what they believed, and so this is a beautiful, I'm loving this message that's coming through. We're of course going to dig deeper into this, and we're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot cards. So Wild Unknown Archetypes, it's the kind of companion to this. And what we're going to do is pull 4 kind of stacks of cards, depending on how many come out. And they're going to represent, like, we're going to pull a card here. It's going to represent the energies and experiences that you're bringing into autumn from the Lionsgate portal that happened on August 8th all the way up to September 22nd. And we're going to pull a card here that represents what they want you to know about September 22nd up to October 22nd. This will be October 22nd up to November 21st. It goes back a day just because there's 31 days in the month of October. It draws it back one day. And this will be November 21st up to December 21st, which is the winter solstice. So let's just give us another little shuffle here. And Creator, what do you want them to know about this period of the Lionsgate up to September 22nd, please? There, and then September 22nd to October 22nd, and I feel like that one is there too, and then October 22nd to November 21st, okay, and then November 21st to December 21st. Whoa. Almost got the whole deck there. Okay. And then we're also going to pull clarifiers for each of these periods as well by using this everyday tarot. So we'll get to clarification. All right, so for August 8th all the way up to September 22nd, yeah, I got the Ace of Cups here, which this is beautiful because this means like new emotion, new love coming in. But for me, with all the readings I've been doing for this autumn equinox, this represents the unconditional love of the Creator of all things, because it's the Holy Grail, it's the chalice. And this is what it brings to us, is all this beautiful love energy that's coming in. So, with whatever energy came in on the portal on August 8th, through the Lionsgate portal and everything you've been working on all the way up till September 22nd, you're really discovering the essence of it. It's like one drop from this cup fills you up more than anything you ever experienced in the outside world for your entire life. The ego searches because it's been taught and told to search out here for its fulfillment in the physical world, but that leaves us feeling thirsty and empty. And this is the living waters that bring us that beautiful energy. We had a full moon in Aquarius from this period of time too, which are the water bearers, and they're the ones that bring us these living waters, and they actually bring us a gift. That Aquarian energy brings us a gift of allowing us to see what we're truly thirsty for, which is this. And so we're starting to, during this period, I really see that you're grasping that there's more to you than this human character and this ego. There's a higher self and this whole expansion of beautiful sea of unconditional love on the other side, endless and unending, versus, crawling through the desert, dying of thirst, So you're feeling like this beautiful contrast. We'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this period of time here. But yeah, so perfect, because this is what allows you to move into the driver's seat, like I was talking about in that example. You have the awareness and the ability to drive your own life because you connect with your spiritual side. All right, anything else? Okay, any others? Yep, so you have the Empress. So the Empress is number 3. So this is about creativity, which this kind of talked about too, expressing yourself, allowing your orphan inside to express itself in ways, but then also allowing you to express this royalty feeling, that only child feeling as the only child as well. Because here is, you can see on there, there's the star. The star card in the major arcana is Aquarius. And this is a little vessel full of beautiful little living energy. I mean, the living waters, the unconditional energy. So she's offering that to you. And she's Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. And so she's definitely, I feel like this is the mother side of the divine. She's the divine feminine. She's the divine mother, bringing that to you, bringing you that love. And then you have the Judgment card here, which shows this is your human self rising out of the coffin. It's usually like the rapture, but it also represents, because it's XX, it's 20, it's the death and rebirth, the endings and new beginnings. And this allows you to see who you really are, which is the heavenly being. And so this is exactly what we were talking about, about this awareness that comes, that you're more than just this ego. This is your ego, your human side, that human, and then you connect to your higher self. So I usually say that there's 2 tens there because you have 2 endings and 2 new beginnings. One, you have this transformation of how you feel about your human self, and you also have this transformation, understanding about your spiritual self, because in the human world we live in, the Empress is about freedom and nature, and how there's just no restrictions. The nature unfolds the way nature unfolds. And then after that, number 4 and number 5 in the deck, after this 3 Empress, is the Emperor, who comes in like society and has all the rules and regulation that cramp down who we are. And then after that is the 5 is the Hierophant, and that's spirituality. How we believe spiritually gets organized, like organized religion. It puts us into a box because it wants us all to act, and worship the same. So we have these commonalities. And I don't diss society and organized religion. Beautiful part, an important part of our lives that we came here to experience. But the message that comes from all this is that all that emperor expectations and all the opinion of the emperor, you start that, this endings and new beginnings, as you start to form your own beliefs around how life should be. And also spiritually, to believe that you can have your own trinity with the creator of all things, that you can have this only child relationship, goes against a little bit of some of my organized religion that I grew up in. They're like, how dare you, would think even that you could have that relationship. But it's like, wow, yeah, how dare I? So that's what that's about there. Yeah. Then you have the Ace of Wands. And wands are your fire, your drive, your ambitions, and that type of thing. But it also, because it's the fire element, also represents your spirit. And so this is like an offering from the creator, bringing in new spiritual energy, new spiritual connection. So this is so perfect with this, because you got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. And then that brings you into this September 22nd. And so all that energy is coming in. I thought this might show itself. And this totally represents your ego and your spirit coming together. Because what this represents, so the lion represents our human side, our fight or flight ego, and just our whole human experience. And the lion is taught, because of the ego, search out here for your love. Search out here for what will quench your thirst and take away your hunger. And so it goes out there, but all that is temporary, and it just makes him hungrier and makes him thirstier. It doesn't quench his thirst, because this is the only thing that's going to make him feel whole. And so he goes through the jungle, and he's like roaring because he's hangry, the hungry, angry. So he's roaring in the jungle because he's, desperately hungry and desperately thirsty. And normally there'll be like a female card. A female on the card, which she represents our higher self. In this place, you can see the infinity symbol, which represents our infinite self, and here is the bright infinite you. And so our higher self, our true self, comes down to comfort our human side of us, right? And what it's searching for is love, unconditional love, and that's what we're made out of. That's what we bring down. And so she doesn't try to, suppress the lion by putting it in a cage or kill it with a sword or try to get it under control with a whip and chair. It brings it what it's been wanting, which is unconditional love, and so it embraces it. Some of the cards that I see in tarot, they're actually hugging the lion, and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what it is. Bringing the love from above, which is what helps our ego calm down and finally feel whole and complete. And it's this joining together. It's like, for me, the Two of Cups is like this joining together of these emotions of, our human side's been searching for love, and our spiritual self comes and we embrace, and we're able to walk together through this lifetime. You don't kill our ego, we fulfill our ego and fulfill our, that human side of us. And you have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups also shows us, usually they'll have like 3 cups sitting in front of us, which are the cups in the outside world, like what the lion was trying to feel fulfilled and solve its hunger and thirst. And then there's usually the Ace of Cups is usually being offered. It's kind of looks like this, except it's has the chalice in it instead. And so this Four of Cups is all about, you're realizing, and the person's usually bored with the Three of Cups that are out there, because those things are not fulfilling and they don't make us feel whole and complete. And so the Ace of Cups is being introduced, which totally reinforces what I just said about this one here, that you're being offered this beautiful, beautiful chalice full of living waters that does make you feel whole and complete. And then we're going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this period of time for September 22nd to October 22nd. But it's definitely you're embracing your heart is open to receiving your unconditional love from your higher self, from the higher realms. Okay, so we've got 4 cards coming here. We got the 10 of Pentacles, and this is beautiful because 10, again, Pentacles are your outside world and your feelings of wholeness and completeness. It's gratitude. And it's not just blessings of you, but it's filling you up and flowing out to other people and benefiting others. It's like the legacy card, because it's like the changes and the abundance that comes flowing into your life not only impacts you, but impacts others for like generations to come, is kind of the feel of it. And what I love about this card too is that it has the family tree, and it also brings this message of breaking old patterns and cycles of relationships. I know when I talked about in the beginning here too about, our parents did the best job with what they had. A lot of times we have cycles like physical abuse, sexual abuse, drug abuse, alcohol, or beliefs about, not feeling safe, or, different things that are passed down from generation to generation. And you don't know any better because that's all you know from when you're growing up, and we take that on as the norm. Well, this card also represents that you have the power and the ability to break chains in your generation. And not only you, but other people that are even outside your family tree. This love and this connection that you're learning, this whole movement from the orphan to the only child, is this strength that is coming to you that allows you to make a difference just by being you. You didn't have to try. It's like people just see the change in you and they're like, what's going on? And you just share. And you just live, and just by doing that, you're like this bright beacon, like this bright sun that people just see, and it changes, and that allows people to see and change and also break cycles in their lives. And then you have the Hierophant. So we talked about the Hierophant. This is about letting go of and moving outside of all those restrictions of what you have believed about your spirituality. Not be so closed-minded and not be so, confined in your relationship with the Creator. Look at organized religion as a party that you went to where people introduced you to this really cool person, this really cool soul, called God or the Creator, whatever it is, for your belief system. And they were like, yeah, but before you introduce, just know this is who they are and what they are and how they believe and what they're going to require of you. So let me introduce you to them. And then you meet the Creator, through organized religion. And you're like, wow, you start... you really love the energy of this person, and you're like, hey, you want to hang out, and go have coffee? Like, yeah. And then that is when your relationship starts with the Creator. When you leave the party, you step out of your organized religion. You can still go to the party, just knowing that everyone's perception of that Creator is their own. That's their own relationship with the Creator. But you get to have your own. I changed mine from, God to Creator, because when I started my own personal relationship, it changed. My whole interactions changed. And so it's like sometimes, like you hear me call them the mother and father of all things. Sometimes I call them the big kahuna, but it's this personal relationship that you have with stepping outside of that. And again, you don't have to leave your organized religion, but you can start changing your heart with your relationship. Yeah. Because then you have the High Priestess, who she is the one that does connect to the higher realms. She goes into her temple and she has that special connection that she's able to get into the deep subconscious and the unknown, connect, with your intuition, your gut feeling, and the connection to the higher realms. So I'm not surprised that she showed up here for you as well. Yep. And then you have the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands, this is you, and your wands are like, again, your spiritual side, your fire, your passion, your drive. But I really feel like this new position that you're taking within your spiritual world, that you might feel you have to defend it. Some people are going to try to, out of fear, try to keep you in the group belief, the tribal belief, keep you at the party. Where are you going? You can't go with them out and coffee on your own. Get back in here. You can't, you only can see them at the party. You can't see them on your own. That's the feeling that comes with it. But knowing you don't have to defend it, you don't even have to talk about it, because it's like talking to other friends about your friendship with your best friend. It's none of their business. They don't need to know about it. In fact, all it makes them feel is jealous and makes them feel like less. When you're interacting with these other wands and these other people, just let that be your friendship one-on-one with them. It doesn't have to include other things. But with all this love you have coming in, it does. It can bring this feeling, that they can get almost jealous sometimes. Their ego can be like, why do you get to have that and I don't have that? And so sometimes they try to burst your bubble and try to bring you back to where they're at. They're like, you can't have light. Come back here into the darkness with us. How can you have joy? Let that go. Come back and be miserable with the rest of us. So that's the kind of, possibility that can come, because of all that too. But I really don't feel it's going to impact you at all, because you're going to be so, flowing with this love and with this new connection, that I kind of feel like you're going to, especially with the High Priestess, that you spend a lot of time away in your own little temple. You like the silence and the quiet, because when you're in that silence and that quiet, it's when you can hear more clearly from the spiritual realm, because you're in that energy and that frequency of love, unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter, rather than, like we talked about, misery. Misery is loud. A lot of the ego's emotions of uncomfortable emotions rooted in fear are very loud, and it makes it hard to hear. So I really feel that High Priestess, that you'll be taking some time to yourself. And then you move into October 22nd, and then you have the Son of Cups, which would be the Knight of Cups in other decks. And here again, you have the Ace of Cups. But this is about where you're putting it into action. So where all this from August 8th all the way up to this point has been a lot of internal experience, a lot of time alone. This is when you bring it into the outside world. You just can't help it anymore. It starts to fill you up and overflow, and it starts impacting different areas of your life. So let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy for October 22nd to November 21st. Okay, any others? It's just these two. Yeah, surprise, surprise. You get a lot of similar cards to reading number one. So if you were torn between the red leaf and the orange leaf, I'd go back and look at the red leaf as well, just for validation, confirmation, and for additional messages there. But the star, this is the Aquarian energy I was talking about too, the water bearer. And here is the star that is you, like the star that it was you in the strength card there, the sun, the brightness. And this is the beautiful living waters that are flooding out to you in both on land and in water. So the land is your thoughts and your outside world, your physical world. And this is your spirit and your emotions. And so it's flowing out, of course, into all areas of your life, just like we mentioned with this, Knight of Cups, Son of Cups. Yeah. And here's the Four of Cups coming back. And so you had the Four of Cups here, and that's what I was talking about. So you've got the Three of Cups, the old ways, how bored they are, and then here you're being offered the Ace of Cups, the goblet, the chalice, the Holy Grail. And so you're being offered that again. It's so perfect. I love it. So all this love is flowing out into the world, and then you come up to November 21st, and ta-da! You've got the Two of Pentacles. And again, you have the infinity symbol here, and I just really feel you're just transforming. You've become a beautiful butterfly. The caterpillar has been dissolved. You've went through the struggles of getting out of the cocoon, and now you're just seeing things from a higher perspective. And it's about balancing this as well. The two, realizing the two of you that are here, like right across over here where the strength card is, where your higher self brought love to your human side to have this beautiful bond. This is about being able to fly together and enjoy life. And you don't have to be drug along the ground like the caterpillar. You're able to fly together, because it really is, it's beautiful that here's the caterpillar and then here's your higher self, right? The caterpillar is still that piece of you that's there, but now you have wings to be able to fly as well and see life from a whole new perspective. I love that. And we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy for November 21st to December 21st. Never thought of that before. I love the messages that come through. Quite honestly, I learned so much through the readings for other people. Kind of feel like I'm cheating sometimes because sometimes I don't have to go through things because I'm hearing what other people are going through. Yeah, here you have the Knight of Swords. So, yeah, definitely this is new movement and new thoughts, new beliefs. You have the Ace of Swords here, which is all about, it's what you are able to use to cut away old thoughts and old beliefs, moving away from those things that are no longer serving you, moving away from those thoughts and those beliefs, those expectations, a lot of the ego's expectations it took on for its own definition through all this process. It's being dissolved like that caterpillar because those thoughts and those beliefs are falling away. Your ego feels more and more loved and more powerful, more complete, more whole because of all that love that's coming in into it instead. Yeah, and then you have the Page of Wands. So this is new energy, new spiritual connection. Pages, of course, are, we're like the messengers, the ones that would go into towns and hear ye. They would go and spread the news. So this represents messages from Spirit. So you're getting new messages from Spirit and actually more enhanced and higher messages from Spirit. It also represents a page as kind of like this childlike energy. And it's what's amazing with it is it's a spiritual energy that comes in to you, but also it impacts your physical world. Because all this energy that you were investing into all those expectations, trying to meet all those things, like the lion was trying to eat and drink as much as it could. It's exhausting trying to get and meet all that. And so all that energy that you're investing in trying to do that, once you are connecting to this beautiful love from the inside, you have all this energy that's available for you within your body that you've reclaimed. It's no longer being donated away into a black hole. You have this beautiful energy that's coming in. So beautiful spiritual energy coming in on the spirit side, and a physical passion, coming in to your physical side, your human side as well. Yeah, because here's the King of Wands. And for me, the King of Wands represents your higher self, because the Wands is your spirit, and you've reached that, that point. The King is the end of the suit, so you've mastered it, you've gotten to it, you're at that point. And it can represent for your physical side too, just the ability to focus, like pinpoint focus and get things done. Instead of being scattered, you have your energy, you're able to move and do, because whatever you focus on is what grows. And with all this extra power and awareness, you're able to just to really super zero in and move things. And it's almost like the magician feeling that you have the ability to manifest things. So whatever you focus on is what grows and what comes in. So also be aware of what you're focusing on, because whatever you focus on just grows very quickly because of where you're at now. And then lastly, what we're going to do, we're going to pull a card from this deck. It's another Wild Unknown deck. I love these. So it's a companion to these others, but this is the Animal Spirit deck. And so this is going to show you what spirit animal or spirit animal energy or guide is going to be with you all the way from August 8th, the Lion's Gate, all the way through to at least the winter solstice. So let's give these a shuffle here. And we'll see what your companion or your guide is going to be with you on this little tour that you're going to go on through autumn. Ooh, Peter. What spirit guide? Oops. Okay, I didn't have to finish asking. They know what I wanted. And you got the Panther. Let me just put that right here. And then we will see what energy comes with that for you. That's, of course, looking at the wrong one here. Because the Panther is actually fire energy, which is totally understandable with you being a fire sign. Yeah, so the Panther, annihilation of the unnecessary, purging. So the Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. So trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. Because when you're in balance with this energy, you're brave and productive. When you're out of balance with this energy, you're self-destructive. So to bring this energy into balance, it says, get rid of the unnecessary. And that's totally perfect. That's the perfect energy for this journey, because what you're getting rid of are all these ego's previous beliefs and expectations about your wholeness and your worth and your value. So they're going to be with you, guiding you. So if you see a panther in real life, hopefully it's just at a zoo. But if you see it like in social media or in the internet or something, use that as a reminder about this panther energy and bring that back into as a reminder to get rid of the unnecessary that are no longer fulfilling you. All these three cups that are boring you, that aren't fulfilling you, that aren't, quenching your thirst and your hunger. And you can also, if you want to draw a panther, if you're artistic of any way, or even if you do a stick figure of a panther, put reminders around you as well to remind you of this energy through at least the months of autumn, through September 22nd all the way up to December 21st. But I'm loving this for you. And just know, as you're going through all this, you're never alone. The creator of all things, the mother and father of all things, loves you unconditionally as an only child. And hey, I love you too. So enjoy your autumn, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. You take care now. All right, my Sagittarians, if you chose reading number 3, which is the yellow leaf, then this is your reading. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards. And what this is going to represent is what the Creator wants you to know about what is falling away from you in the month of autumn. And don't worry, right away, after we do that, we're going to pull a card to determine what energy is moving in as the other energy is moving out. There's never not a pocket of empty energy in your being. There's always some energy there. There's just when some moves out, it makes room for new energy coming in. And that's what we'll take a look at. So let's give these a good shuffle. And one more time. All right, Creator, what do you want our Sagittarians that chose the yellow leaf to know about what is falling away out of their life during the month of autumn? This is the one that wants to talk to us today. And it says, surrender to receiving support and love. Polar bears. And it says, allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So what's falling away is this need to do everything yourself, the need to feel in control, right? So that's the energy that is going to be moving away, because one of the big fears that comes from that is that, I'm totally aware of how this feels because I'm a recovering enabler in codependent relationships. I always had in the past this strong desire. I needed to be needed. And if I wasn't the one giving or the one that was needed in a relationship, then it scared the crap out of me, because then that means I wasn't needed. And why even around me? The belief I had about my self-worth back then was the only reason anybody would want to be around me is if I could give them something. No one would certainly want to be around me just because I am who I am. I would have to be benefiting their life in some way. And so that's kind of the belief that's falling away to make room for the new. And for the new, we're going to look at these wild, unknown archetype cards. And so we're going to pull a card here and see what the creator wants you to know about what is coming in. Is that belief is headed out. All right, creator, what do you want our Sagittarians to know? Okay. So this shall be the one. And you got Eros. And we will look this up and see what message comes from this energy. I almost went flying right by it. Okay. Yeah, so this Eros is love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. And says, though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of a desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart. And remember, though the way is circuitous, circulation, you are always being led towards its center. And it says the Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, can help activate Eros energy. She's also known as Kameshvari. That's Kameshvari. So sorry if I destroyed that. But she's the Empress of Desire. It also says Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It's activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. This makes so much sense as we're surrendering to allowing ourselves to receive support and love. It opens us to a whole new world of receiving and of being open to experiencing love and all the beautiful emotions that come with that. And like I said, it can be platonic, it can be friendship, it even can be, like I mentioned, not even a person. It could be opening up to allowing yourself to be impacted by nature, music, art, plants, food, or like I said, anything we perceive as that what we're separate from. Because when you're in the light of this energy, you have passion, you have playfulness, you have sexual health. When you're in the darker energies of this, you have madness, projection, obsession. And it says to go deeper into this energy, you can look at Pablo Neruda's Love Sonnet number 11, XI, and his last name is Neruda, or read The Basket of Figs by Alan Bass, Bass, or Bass. So if you feel so inclined to go and that resonates with you, check those things out as well. Could be messages there for you. But this makes total sense. So going into the labyrinth of love and desire and understanding what you want, instead of always having to be the one that's giving and supporting others. This is about, what do you want? Really, this discovering this labyrinth of understanding what it is you want in life and getting to the root of it. And we're going to dig more into this, of course. We're going to use these Wild Unknown Tarot to get some clarification here. And what we're going to do is pull 4 separate kind of card, I guess, decks or, kind of readings, I guess, whatever you'd call them. The first one is going to be from August 8th, which was the Lionsgate portal, all the way up to the Autumn Equinox, which is September 22nd. So this card here will represent the energies and experiences, whatever the creator wants you to know that you're bringing in with you into the Autumn Equinox. And then this card is going to represent September 22nd to October 22nd. This one will be October 22nd to November 21st. It goes back a day because there's 31 days in October. And then this one will be November 1st up to December 21st, which will be the winter solstice. So we'll go ahead and see and pull cards here. Now that you know what's going on, Creator, what do you want our Sagittarius to know about the Lionsgate up to, September 22nd. They just said just that one. What about October 22nd to December 22nd? Okay. And December 22nd to November 21st. Okay. And November 21st to December 21st. Those two. And then we'll also be pulling clarification for each of these periods here from the Everyday Tarot. So, all right, so from the Lionsgate up to September 22nd, you do have the 5 of Swords here. And so I really feel like this is the separation of thoughts for you. I'm reading this intuitively because I feel like this is the Ace of Swords in the beginning, in the middle, I'm sorry, that's splitting these. And that's what the Ace of Swords does. It allows you to cut away old beliefs, old ways of thinking, because swords are your thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, attitudes. And so it's like this separator, the cutting away of things. And you've got some thoughts over here and some thoughts over here. And I feel like you're moving, you're getting ready, like it's like you're questioning some thoughts here, and you're severing some beliefs and thoughts that you've had. And that makes total sense with what you're going in here, because 5 is the number of change too. So it's this changing of mind, these changing of attitudes and thoughts, and that's totally perfect with, as this, to trigger surrendering to receiving love and support. So your beliefs about not being lovable, not being acceptable, kind of that point of view I gave you on why you feel you always have to be the one giving, why you're not worthy to receive or scared to death to be receiving. But it's this beautiful understanding that you cheat people out of that lovely experience that you have when you give. If there's no one to receive, then they don't get to feel that. And then sometimes in, like, especially friendships and relationships, whatever it might be, if you don't allow people to give to you, then they will give to other people instead. And they love that feeling, and they'll want to spend more time with those other individuals than they do with the dictator of giving. I'm not dissing you, I'm speaking from experience. So we're going to pull some additional cards here to see what else the creator wants you to know about this change of mind that's coming in here, the splitting of thoughts and beliefs, and you're really starting to dissect, literally, because this worm gets cut in half here, so you're really splitting things. And it almost is like this clarity that's coming for you, because the energy is almost like this a little bit of confusion, energy coming in, because it's like, well, I want to believe this, but it's like your ego is wanting to maintain the old thoughts and beliefs, but a part of you is wanting to change and think in this new way and believe in this new way. And there's this like little battle going on in between as well. So let's see what else the Creator wants you to know, though. So what else do you want them to know about that energy, about this period of time, Lions Gate up to September 22nd? Like this one my pinky was touching is it. Yeah, makes sense. You have the Emperor. Here's the dictator I was talking about, the dictator of giving. But the Emperor is also represents society, and the one that brings in all these thoughts and beliefs and expectations, all these opinions we get from the outside world about the supposed to be, the should be, the need to, the have to, that tries to control, people and all the other humans. And in the beginning, it started off like, well, hey, if we're going to all, hang together in these large villages and cities and stuff, we're going to have some rules, or we're all going to end up killing one another. And so the heart and the need for the ego to have those things was good intentions. But then also the power hungry ego, the scared, fight or flight kicks in, and it wants to be in control. It expands its control to try to control different parts of people's lives, and that's what brings in so much of our wonderful suffering and all those lovely feelings of uncomfortable feelings, rooted in fear. So this is the energy coming in, is this awareness of the dictator in you and this battle that's ensuing. So it's the energy that's coming up to this point here, which brings you into September 22nd. You have the Mother of Wands. And this is beautiful because Wands represents your drive, your ambition, your spark in you. On the human side, it also represents like your confidence, and with it being divine feminine energy, it also has a lot to do with your emotions around feeling that way. From a spiritual side, it's also this beautiful mastery of your spiritual side. And so you can see again, she's the nurturer of these eggs and the protector. And so the feminine side of this beautiful spiritual energy, it's like divine mother, goddess, very much mother nature, mother nurture, to help you grow, to keep the eggs warm, to so that growth can happen. And so you have this beautiful, feels like this protector that's around you during this time as this energy comes in, just to create the fire and the space. You, being a fire sign, are totally comfortable with the fiery energy that comes from this, but it's just this bravery, this confidence, this bright shining spark and excitement around it. You're not I was going to say you're not a stranger to conflict because of your fire energy, but you're not, because you're not a stranger to it, it doesn't scare you. This conflict that's going on inside, you're like, okay, I see what it is, let's go handle it. And that's kind of what I feel. And let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about September 22nd to October 22nd. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I feel that one too. Yep, so you got the Nine of Cups. So cups are about your emotions, and the Nine of Cups is kind of like the wish fulfilled. You've got all these beautiful emotions that are coming in, but they're feelings of contentment, and they're feelings of wholeness, they're feelings of and I love it because it's like feelings of receiving. Like these cups, you allowed them to be filled. Whereas before you'd be like, no, thank you. I had this flash in my head of like being at a wedding, or going to a restaurant and they have like the wine glass turned over, and you turn the wine glass up if you want them to pour you something, or you leave it down and they don't. And I feel like you've opened up these areas of your life where you're allowing it to be poured. And then you have the sun. Yes. So beautiful fire energy. It's one of the most beneficial and positive cards in all of the major arcana, in fact, in the deck. So this is all about beautiful awareness being shown. When you're in the sun the way it is, there's not a lot of shadow, there's not a lot of darkness, there's not a lot of darker energies, and I feel like you almost are like this victor that's come out of this battle in here, and so you have really taken all this experience, all this information that you had, and you just really, of course, went after it. I mean, who wouldn't? With all that fire energy you have. So September 22nd to October 22nd, you just really go for the gusto, and you just feel like, okay, I've got this. Aside one. Yeah, this makes sense. You got the star, which is hope, but it's also connecting to your higher self and your higher awareness, to the higher love. This is the Aquarian card. The star represents like Aquarius energy. And what the Aquarius brings us here is these, in these bowls, usually it's some sort of vessel, is these living waters. This is the unconditional love that we find from the other side, the true love. And it's flowing into you, and it's flowing into both your physical world on land and into your emotional waters, into the water. This also represents, this would be your pentacles and your thinking. So you're thinking in your outside world, and this is your spiritual world and your emotions. And so you're getting that love that's just flowing out into your world. And that makes sense that because you're battling, your spiritual side is battling with your ego side. The unconditional love battling with the conditional. The joy battling with sadness and depression and anxiety and the dark emotions of joy. So you have these two awarenesses that are coming in. And that's what really is bringing you this sun, because you're like, it's a no-brainer. Unconditional love you can't lose, and you don't have to do anything to gain because you have it all. Or conditional love, that there's so many conditions you're set up for failure. You're like, hey, easy choice. and you do that here. Yeah, because you got the you have the 9 of Cups and you have the 9 of Pentacles. So both of those are totally about you feeling fulfilled, you're feeling whole. That's emotionally, and this is in the physical world. So you really have this new perspective of life and abundance. So you feel truly grateful, and you're in the garden by yourself. So it's not about this so much the external that your abundance is impacting a bunch of other people. It's like this inner abundance that you have, this new appreciation and gratitude for what you do have in your life. And because you focused all this energy on gratitude, it grew things to be grateful for instead of focusing on lack and what you're not getting, which grows lack. And you have your feathered friends there from the other side. You have your support team, your angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones who are on the other side, your ancestors, all sorts of beautiful beings of unconditional love and light supporting you on your path. And I love that. And then you come into October 22nd, and then you have the Empress. And so the Empress comes before the Emperor, and she represents new beginnings, birth, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture again. So a wonderful motherly energy. She is the divine representative of the divine feminine. And she's connected to the moon here. And so she's really a lot about feeling that wholeness and that completeness And 3 is the number of creativity too. So it's that creativeness, that birthing of new things, and this newness that's coming in. Now let's see what that does here. We're going to, of course, pull some additional cards here. Let's see what this new beginning is. What do you want them to know about this new beginning, this new beautiful love energy that's coming in? Okay, so there's a little bit of information here, which is totally great because we love to get information. Yeah, so Queen of Wands, which is the Mother of Wands here. So same card, it's like, like it usually says, I meant what I said, and it's continuing into this month too. You have this amazing energy to get things done, wonderful spiritual energy. You're protected. You've got the black cat there that is the protector. So you're making these moves, you're making these bold moves because there is this confidence that comes with the Queen of Wands too. And then you have the 7 of Wands. So again, a lot of energy that's coming in, and this can represent that you might be feeling like you have to defend your actions, defend what you're doing, and other people may not understand what's going on, and that's okay. You have your own flame. People can be like some jealousy. It can be, jealousy I think is a really good word. They're just really the message, and I think this card came up for every single one of these readings for you guys. But it's like this feeling of we're in demise, and we're feeling low, and we're in darkness. So get back out of the light, come back to us, be miserable along with us. Why you want to be joyful for? So that kind of that feeling of misery loves company, and they want yours back. Yeah, and then you have the King of Pentacles. So, definitely abundance, feeling abundance and gratitude. I mean, he's the end of the Pentacles, which is totally about, he understands the whole needs, the whole physical world, and what we think we need and what we really need. And really a huge proponent of focusing on gratitude and thankfulness for what is, because the king understands that, like we talked about, if you focus on lack, that grows, but if you focus on gratitude and thankfulness, that grows. But I really feel with all those steps you're taking, you do feel the benefits of it. Yeah, well, and then you got the King of Swords. And so the King of Swords is about mastering your mind and your mentality and your thoughts. He sits on the throne of the cups, the Ace of Cups, which shows that he's balancing his mind and mentalities and logical side and all that stuff with emotions. So balancing the earth and the spirit in a very powerful way. Again, he's the king. He's at the end of the suit, so he's mastered a lot. He still has his beliefs and his thoughts, but the Ace of Swords also is how you cut away old beliefs that no longer serve you. And I always love that his hand is extended, which means he's open to receiving, surrender to receiving, but also taking on new beliefs and new thoughts. Wow, you got so much masculine and divine, masculine and feminine energy here, because you've got 2 queens and 2 kings and the Empress in this period of time here. And so the Queen of Pentacles is a lot like this King of Pentacles here, but she's very much like the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, new birth. You even have the little rabbits, so you have rapid growth and rapid things that come into your life here. And all of these individuals, these kings and queens, can represent people, which makes total sense because your surrender to receiving support and love, you are receiving that from October 22nd up to November 21st from individuals in the physical world. And just remember that all of our abundance comes from the creator of all things, who's limitless and boundless, and so has endless supply. All these people are the middlemen that the creator, it's like the shipping company that the creator sends that stuff through to us. So definitely, I feel like a lot of people, you're allowing people to give to you during this month, and they are willing to and so excited to be able to give to you for a change. Then you come into November 21st. Yeah, and then you have Ace of Wands. So much energy and so much spiritual connection, which makes total sense that, with all this support and love that you're allowing to come in, you feel excitement. And with this Eros here too, it's about your desire, your passions, your spark. You're just on fire from November 21st, at least until December 21st. So beautiful, beautiful. Yep. And don't worry about this goat with his feet on fire. He's the devil. But this is the shadow. And what I love is you have the contrast of extreme light and darkness. And just know that and I'm going to put this over top of that because that the light outshines the dark. And just know that the purpose of our shadow or the devil archetype, they come right before the tower in the major arcana. And the devil, or our shadow, brings to us these messages in not so subtle ways. And it tells us, it's like, hey, do you realize that what I'm using to snare you and trap you is this? And it's almost like, I don't know why I just had this picture of Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. They're like, well, this is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. It's always in these movies with these villains, they share their plans of how they're going to do things. And then the hero breaks free and stops those plans. And that's kind of like this feeling that comes with the devil card here, is that your shadow is going, hey, I'm just letting you know that these are the things that I've been using to block you. But it's an offering to us because our shadow is our friend, our ego is our friend, and it brings us the information we're ready to let go of. And it's like, here you go. And it doesn't, like I said, in not so subtle ways. So a lot of times you'll find that you'll encounter like 5 different people in a matter of even a day sometimes, but sometimes it's like a week. And this friend you had is going through a situation, like they're going through, like this person betrayed him. And then you go, and then the next you talk to another friend, and this person betrayed them. And then another person, this person betrayed them. And you have like, okay, I think this message for me to look at is the feeling of betrayal, because you've heard it like from 5 different sources all, and it's like this really obvious, not subtle message. And I feel like this is what is happening for you. And let's see what the creator wants you to know about that energy, about that information that's coming in. But I really feel that's what's allowing you to apply this amazing energy that you're having, to really release those things and really face those things, because you're not afraid. You got that fire in you. Okay, any others? Okay, any others? Got a lot of energy in this deck. It's like there's all these cards wanting to jump out, but it's like you got to make yourself very obvious here. Okay, so they want this one. Nope, not those. Okay, so you've got the Hierophant. So this is about your spiritual beliefs that make you feel suppressed and are limiting your expansion of your spiritual side of you. The Hierophant is like the Emperor, in that they both, Emperor is like society that tries to control and have you walk a fine line in life and interactions with our society. And the Hierophant has to do that with your spiritual beliefs. So it's like organized religion and society. And I never diss them. They are very important parts and very beautiful parts of our journey here, because we want to experience that. And they have a lot of good things too. I mean, society helps us not kill one another most of the time. You know, they started off with that intent, and of course, as power hungry egos get involved, there's even more suppression and trying to control so many different areas of your life. And spiritually, you know, trying to come up with united beliefs, and so we don't have holy wars, and trying to come to some, you know, things. So they, you know, both of them have their positive points, but this card is coming up to say that there's this gate, there's these gates for your of these beliefs that they've had that keep you from moving on and moving into new levels. But you have the keys here to unlock those gates and to release those things. And that could be what the shadow is bringing up to you, is like you have these spiritual beliefs about what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And it can be about your worthiness to God, you know. It could be that there's this conditional love, these conditions that have to be met in your spiritual beliefs in order to be lovable by God, in order to receive from God, instead of it being this belief in unconditional love, that there's nothing you can do to gain it, nothing you can do to lose it, because you have it all right now, and just for being you and for no other reason. So, yep, because Eight of Swords, because your own thoughts and beliefs and mentalities are what are binding you and blinding you. And so you're the one that is allowing these limitations to happen, which I know is pretty sucky news in the beginning, but it's very amazing news when you realize that, because you're the one that's tying you up. You're the one that can untie yourself and never tie yourself up again if you don't want to. You got Page of Pentacles, so this represents messages from the outside. So you're going to be getting some communication from the outside, important communication, but also it means new opportunities coming your way. So as you look at these limitations that you have, and you let those go, or cut them with this Ace of Swords, and cut those out of your life and make that change. You know, again, this is your spiritualness and your physicalness in battle. As you continue to work through all those things, it brings you to these new opportunities for growth and all that. Yeah, because then you have the Queen of Cups. See, she's the divine feminine of emotions. So she's much like the High Priestess, where it allows you to connect to the other side, to connect into the unconscious and the unknown. You can even see the universe is in her hair here. So it brings you knowledge and awareness. The Ace of Cups here that she's holding is the chalice of unconditional love. And that's where you know, we talked about with the star here about all this love, and that connects you to your higher self and connects you to that higher love. This is just showing you that these new opportunities of letting go of these spiritual beliefs of limitation allow you these new opportunities to expand into a higher place with that. So love it, love it, love it. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from yet another Wild Unknown deck. This one's the Animal Spirit Guide, or Animal Spirit Energy deck. And what we're going to do is find out what spirit animal or spirit guide is going to be with you from August 8th, the Lionsgate portal, all the way up to at least the winter solstice. So we'll see what energy is going to be your companion along the way on this beautiful autumn journey. And they want that one. So we will allow it. Yep, and you got the Panther. This one came out for the last reading as well. But it's beautiful energy. And the Panther is annihilation of the unnecessary and purging, which is definitely the energy that comes in, because you're getting rid of the unnecessary expectations and beliefs that no longer serve you. So it's a perfect partner for you to belong in. The energy that they have is definitely that can assist you. Because the panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences and they've made us better people. So trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place, right? The sun. When you're in balance with this energy, you're brave and productive. And when you're out of balance with this energy, you're self-destructive. So to bring this energy into balance, it says get rid of the unnecessary. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I am loving this. And just know as you go throughout this autumn period that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. You have an amazing autumn, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care now.